Hi, and welcome to the channel on this really grey and overcast Monday morning. So I just thought I'd spend a couple of hours up here in the hobby paint room, and I thought while I'm here, make a video, let you guys know what's been going on. So real life's been getting in the way. All three of us and that have been really busy and that with things going on behind the scenes and that with real life, as I said. And obviously sometimes your hobby has to sort of take a back seat whilst those things have been going ahead. But it's great to get back to actually doing some hobby and talking about it and planning projects and that. And this is an ideal way of sort of getting into it. So the first thing I'm going to show you what I've been getting up to recently is I've been putting together some sort of bases, making up some bases and that. This is out of 5mm MDF plywood, chamfered down and sort of tetri or grated up and that, and sort of flocked up. Some tree bases, sort of area terrain sort of things. Various sort of cut, various sort of shapes, sort of kidney sort of base shapes, some round ones and so forth. And just again, just put some grit on there. It comes out on camera for you. And then obviously here's one here. Base up a load of trees. I've got a load more down there, but yeah, base up a load of trees. So dot them about wherever you want. Whether it be sort of pine trees or sort of popular type trees, and that depending on what setting and that you want. So I do quite like to have that, or even just put them there and have it all mixed and that on there. So that's one thing I'm getting up to at the moment. So that's the plan for this morning. So the second thing I want to talk to you about is another thing that we've sort of started to do. You may have seen on our Facebook page a couple of things, and the first one of those is we've recently sort of got into playing Grimdark Future by one-page rules. And hopefully on the screen now you'll see some pictures and that of a couple of the games and that we've played. And it's a great set of rules. We've been playing a lot of 10th edition 40k here, but we just felt like we wanted a change. There was just something about 10th edition that for us, it just wasn't feeling the same anymore. So we decided that give one-page rules a try. And I think it was Stig Kelly, Little Legions. He was playing a demo game on his Facebook page, and he was talking about it, I think it was a couple of months ago, and it got me onto the idea of why don't we give this a try. And it was really luck because this One Page Rules just released a 3.0 version, and as ideal, last week released 1.0, play that game. So it was a really good game, very fast. You can certainly get your models on the table. If you play 40k or you play Mantic's Firefight rules, you can certainly find your army list in their list. The rule sheet is free to play. The army lists are free to download, and they have a free web-based app for army building. So again, what better way to get into a game, use your miniatures and off you go. The other thing they also do is produce an absolute lovely range of miniatures and that. So again, if you haven't checked them out, I'll leave a link for one-page rules in the description below. You guys go and check them out. Have a game for yourself. If you don't play sci-fi fantasy, or sci-fi, they do a fantasy set of rules for Age of Sigmar equivalent, or even play in the old world with the regiments, fantasy regiments and that. So again, all free rules to download. If you play Kill Team, you play Warcry, again, there's their own free version of those rules. All in that description below in that link. So go and check that out. So it's well worth having a look. Now, the third thing I want to talk to you about is something, if you follow us on Facebook, you would have seen that we've recently been playing a couple of old games and that, and one of them has been an old favourite of mine, and that is Rapid Fire. Now, you may hear me talk about Rapid Fire and that in our live shows and that when guests come on and we talk about nostalgia and things like that and games that we sort of remember. And Rapid Fire originally came out in the 90s, and group that I was with, there were 6 of us that used to play it and that, and we played it to death. All built in forces up. Loved making 1/72 scale kits up and that, because again at the time getting hold of models and things like that was still quite hard to do, so you were making model kits up. And I loved it. Most of mine are all sort of Hasegawa, Esky, Italieri, Airfix, and even Matchbox 1/76 scale. I think there's a couple of those as well. But yeah, most of them are all of that, and I just love going back through my collection in this last couple of weeks, and that has been absolutely brilliant. Sort of a bit of nostalgia and that. But like I said, they then did a 2nd edition. Again, played that to death. And more recently through COVID, they released the Rapid Fire Reloaded, as I just sort of shown you. Now, for £5, all right, that is an absolute bargain set of rules. Very quick, very easy to read. Within 15-20 minutes of reading the rules, you're up and running, you're playing a game, you've got your forces out and you're playing a game. If you play Battle Group, World War II, ideal, you can use those for that. It's ideal for 20mm miniatures, but there's nothing stopping you using smaller scales, and there's nothing stopping you using your 28mm if you wish. So you can certainly get your forces on the table and play a game. As I said, £5 for a set of rules, it's cheap as chips. And they've then quickly followed up with a rapid fire reloaded extra, again a further £5, and that comes with some extra rules like aircraft AA fire, pre-game bombardments, amphibious landings, and various other sort of bits and pieces and rules and that, and they're very, very good. So again, hopefully on screen you would have seen some pictures and that we had from our game that we played. And more recently, I've had a friend of mine, Richard, come over, and I've set a table up for him, and we've also played a game, and he's played a game, and now he's like got the cat's got the cream. He's well excited in that, and he's going away and building up forces and bits and pieces. But also we picked up, whilst we were at Colours Wargames show the other week, which was the Canadian version campaign book. And these little campaign books are really good. Remind me of the old like Commando comics and that used to get. It's really, really cool. So there's like in there you get 4 scenarios and rules to play the campaign of the Canadians there from the 6th to the 9th of June 1944. And the other one we picked up was Operation Mercury, obviously the Crete campaign. The Airborne Assault. So again, 4 scenarios on the 20th of May of 1941. So looking forward to seeing what we can do with those. And I do know that they are working on another campaign book which is due out hopefully by the end of this year, which is based on the Sherwood Rangers. So again, hopefully 4 scenario pack in that, be able to play that. And they're also working on a Russian front campaign one. So again, I don't know what period or what year that is yet, but just from what I've been reading and that's what they're working on. So it's a great game, very fast game. Play it on a 6x4 table or larger, you know, and again you can have a really good fun game playing those rules. So again, it's well worth a look. And as someone who's played both 1st and 2nd edition, I would say Rapid Fire Reloaded, they've very cleverly got it as close to that as possible. And again, using dice instead of charts, and that is ideal, and that you don't have to remember looking up charts and bits and pieces. It's you roll that number of dice to do that action. So really, really simple. If you haven't checked it out and you're into your World War II, for £5, Rapid Fire Reloaded, go and have a look at that. So the third thing I'm going to talk to you about is our new project. Now, we've decided, this project's been on the sort of back burner for a little while, but we decided to do a Lion Rampant project. Obviously with the edition now of Lion Rampant 2nd edition, really good set of rules. If you haven't checked them out, go over and have a look at Fraser's von Ketteringham's YouTube channel. He's done a couple of battle reports of using his miniatures. Fabulous collection of miniatures he's got, by the way. And he does some good games. And the size of the game that he plays is sort of something that we're looking to do for our period that we want to do. Some of the new additions, rules and tweaks that Dan Mercy's done on 2nd edition, really, really good. And I think he's taken his 1st edition rules into a new level, and they really do play well. The period that we're going to be doing is the Crusades period. And again, great book. I know some of the rules in here has been supplemented by 2nd edition. But the information and the army list that you get in here that you can construct your forces from, really, really good, and still worthwhile book to get hold of and put on your shelf. Some great information in there. So the period that we've chose to do is the gap between the 1st and the 2nd Crusade. And the reason for that is it allows for expansion. It's a time of expansion. You think the Christian states are trying to move out, and they're trying to establish themselves and create bigger sort of kingdom areas and that around. And you've also got from the Muslim side of things, they're coming in, they're bandit raiding, and they're coming in with different forces, and they're trying to disrupt everything that's going on. And it's really, really, it's an interesting period, and it's something that, again, with the rise of the military orders, who not only protect obviously the pilgrims coming to Jerusalem, they're having to protect their monasteries, they're having to protect from these bandit raids that are coming in. And again, it's just an interesting period to do. So that's what we've chose to take this on, and we think Lion Rampant would definitely give us that edge and be able to do those sort of types of games. If we don't want to play Lion Rampant, what can we do with the force that we're building? Well, we can also play some bigger games and play Soldiers of God. Another great set of rules, card activated, really simple set of mechanics and that and rules to play. So again, looking forward to using our forces to play those games. And if I want to play another type of skirmish game, we can play Saga Age of Crusades. So again, it's going to give us a lot of flexibility in the forces and that we're building. So hopefully it should look good. So let's turn the camera around and show you the figures. So the first set of miniatures I'm going to show you are the mix of Templars and Hospitallers. There's going to be two trays I'm going to show you, so they're sort of mixed on both for the force, or you can play it as one whole army. So yeah, so I think it works out roughly around 48 to 50 points in Lion Rampant. So again, look, you could play two 24-point forces. So yeah, really, really cool. So in front of us then we've got a unit of Hospitallers, knights and that in front of us, so 6 cavalry figures there with their lances. I will be getting the Little Big Men Studios shield transfers to go on these, so again we'll get them painted up and that, and then we'll put the transfers on last. Over the back then we have the Templars, and again there's 2 units of cavalry there, 2 units of knights, one done up with sort of hand weapon and shields, and the other one I've done with their lances and shields. All the miniatures you'll see in front of you at the moment are Gripping Beast. They're all their metal range, their Saga range, and their normal range of miniatures. So really do like how they are. Nice chunky figures. And, excuse shaky cam. And down in front of us here, the 3 figures in front of us, excuse finger, just in front of his here, we've got the Army Standard Bearer for the Templars. He's going to be the Templar Commander. And over the back we've got a Priest with the True Cross. So that's those. And then over the back here in the middle, just over here, there's a unit of skirmishers, again with sort of like spears, javelins and hand weapons. I think in the pack when they came with like pitchforks and bits and pieces. I think they were the Pilgrims, I think it was. I just thought I'd just change them up a little bit, drill their hands out and put some spears and that in them to make them a little bit different. And then down in front of us here we have a unit of, these are the Foot Sergeants. Let's get one of these up a minute. Again, these are for the Templars. So again, he's got a sword in his hand, shield. Again, put on the shield transfers when they're all done. And again, I'll glue the shields on for these when they're all done. And again, he's spear. Again, draw his hand out. Put a metal spear in his hand. Really nice sculpts actually. Quite like the facial detail. Nice little bit of detail. So they're really nice. So that's the Foot Sergeants. And then we've got a unit of crossbow figures. Put them there. Again, really nice. Gripping Beast figures are quite chunky, and that if you compare it to quite a lot of the 28mm miniatures and that are out there. Really nice. And over the back then we have a unit of archers. And again, the crossbowmen and the archers and that I can dole out one to each force, so each force has got some form of shooting unit. So just move the camera along a second. Here we are. So over here then, the second tray, we have the Hospitaller Commander. Now again, if I'm playing as one force, I wouldn't possibly put him out. But if I was playing as 2 forces, obviously then you've got 2 25-point forces, and you have a commander on each side. The reason why he's not based up, same with the Templar Commanders, obviously I'm waiting for some larger oval bases from war bases, and they'll be all based up. And then in front of us then we have a unit of light spearmen, light infantry spearmen. So again, really nice, drilled his hand out, put the spear through. Really nice, really cool miniatures. Lovely, I say lovely chunky figures, which is what I like. And again, another unit of dismounted Foot Sergeants, and again these will be for the Hospitallers. Again, they'll have shield transfers and that on their shields, so really nice. And over the back we have a unit of mounted sergeants, and these are for the Hospitallers, so they'll have a unit of mounted knights, and yeah, I've got to glue these in yet, these aren't glued yet. And they'll go with those, and they'll have their own 2 units of cavalry. So again, these will be classed, I think they're classed as heavy cavalry in the rules. So again, you've got heavy cavalry and you've got knights. So again, really, really nice. Really like those. There. So that is the Crusading force. So the second force I'm going to show you then is obviously the Crusaders' opponents. This is the Saracens, the Muslim force. And again, this is a similar size force in points, around 50 points. that we've got for these guys. And first off, then on the right here, we've got a unit of 6 sort of skirmishers. Again, they'll have a shield, spear, sort of javelin armed unit. So as I said, it's all 6 of those there. In front of us here, we've got the army banner bearer. So again, I'll drill his hand out, do the pole in, and there's his horse there, and that's the banner that he'll be having there. Sorry, some more banner. Then we have a unit of spearmen. So again, 12 figures in this unit, spearmen. Oops, getting back. Again, these are all plastic miniatures apart from 3 figures, and that one was obviously the army banner bearer, the army commander, and a priest, which I'll show you in a second. The shields that we'll put on will also have all the Little Big Men Studios shield transfers on them. So again, that look really, really cool. So again, yeah, I mean, say for plastic miniatures and that, as many of you know, I'm not really a fan of plastic miniatures, but these are quite nice. Quite like these. Something a little bit different. So there's a different one here. Yeah, looks like he's like, oh, what should I be here? Quite like that. Anyway, moving on. So then, I'll do all the cavalry in one go in a minute. We have the army commander. Now, obviously, again, these are all gripping beast miniatures that you see in front of you. As many of you will know, this is the Saladin miniature. Now, again, it's a lovely miniature, it's a lovely sculpt. Loved by the horses rearing up there, really captured the movement and action and that in this character. But you can't have this force without a character looking like him. It's brilliant. So obviously he's not going to be Saladin in the period that we're playing, but he's going to be the force commander. And next to him then, we got the warrior priest. Really nice. Lovely details on that on this guy. Really nice miniature. It's going to be really good to paint. And then in the middle here we have a unit of just ordinary warriors. And there'll be hand weapon and shield. Again, with the way that the paint is going to flow off the robes and that there, it's going to be really, really nice. I think probably there'll be a contrast of using normal paints and contrast, so put a base coat of paint on and then possibly using the contrast for doing a wash and that over the top. So I think that could be quite interesting, especially like a lot of the sort of pastel colours and that you sort of see in that in the books and as references and that. So again, we're not going to be sort of going down the route, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, being totally historical and all that, because one, we weren't there, and two, it's just, I'm quite happy to take it off the artist's impressions and that, and sort of do it our own way. So again, another unit, got a unit of archers, foot archers. So again, these will add a bit of sort of missile support on foot to support the warriors and the spearmen and that. So that'll be good. And over the back then, let's do the ones over the back. We've got 3 units, one here, one across here, and one down the front here. And these are light cavalry. So again, a lot of harassing cavalry with their bows. So again, try and get that in focus. There we are. Really nice. Again, all plastic, really nice figures. Go together quite well. Very simple. So again, that's 3 units of 6 of those. So again, that would be really, really nice. I mentioned earlier on about playing Soldiers of God. The cavalry base them up in 2s. So again, get some sabot trays, and that's 3 bases, and it's anything from 2 to 4 bases in a unit for Soldiers of God. So again, 3 bases of everything that we've got here, and 4 for the infantry. Works out really, really well. And over the back here, then we've got 2 units of heavy cavalry. So 1 unit there, 6, and 1 unit there. And again, oops, this is the leader figure for this group. Really nice. Again, nice details on the horse and on the rider. Yeah, really nice, really good. Nice miniatures. As I said, for these plastic miniatures, they go together really well. But you need to sort of, like most of the plastic stuff and that, make sure you get the right sort of arms and the right sort of bodies, etc. and that, and just spend a bit of time having a look at it. But yeah, overall, it does look quite good. So there we have it then, guys. That is the video for today. That is what I'm showing you. So we've got a new project on the go and a few things we've been doing in the background. If you haven't checked out our Facebook page, go along. I'll leave a link in the description below. Check out the Facebook page. Come and follow us on there. And then that way you'll be able to see other things and that we're getting up to when we're not making videos. And it's quite a bit that goes on behind the scenes for us making videos. But yeah, no, come on board. We'd love to have you on board. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, subscribe to the channel. And again, all our new subscribers we've had recently, and that huge thank you for jumping on board. It's been absolutely great, and that making the live cast videos that we do into the live shows. There's some great guests on there, and we've got more lined up for you in the future. So without further ado, guys, hope you're all doing well. Hope you're staying safe. Your projects are excellent. I love watching your videos that you're putting out, so keep them coming. Until next time, guys, stay safe, happy wargaming.